Alright. Gross. I forgot to set up that. Alright, now that I'm actually ready, hello everybody! If you read the title, it says exotics. So that is exactly what I'll be covering during this, because there are a few exotics that I believe deserve a little bit more love than what they're getting. For instance, the tractor beam, it deserves a little bit more love for what it is. It's fun. It doesn't really deserve a rating of like half what it should be, or it doesn't need to do a ton of damage. It's a clearing weapon. For instance, if this didn't kill him, all I'd have to do is push him back, and that's really helpful in some situations, like phalanxes. Oh god, I hate those things when they melee you. But out of everything, this one is the one that I most recently got, and I believe I have all of the exotics with most of the ornaments. So once I get done with this public event, I'll show you the perks for it and let you decide. But in the end, I'm probably going to give this a pretty good rating, because this gun it's good. It's fun to use. It's one of those things that you go out on patrol, do a public event for your faction or whatever, and you just unload on whatever's in your way. And in the end, if you got something that like this that needs destroyed, just throw a few grenades at it, or hope to God your allies can help you. Because this thing is like, it's pretty good from what I could tell. I can just stand here and nothing can touch this plate if me and a few others had this. And in all honesty, it's probably one of the better exotics that I've had to use for clearing. Because the Sunshot, it doesn't quite amount to what this is. This is an actual clearing weapon. Sunshot is more of a, here, let's get rid of the lowest level enemy that we can. Well, this, it doesn't do a ton of damage to bosses. Well, from what I can tell as of right now. It doesn't do a ton of damage to any bosses, but I am on patrol. And it probably does less when you're in a higher level event. But at the moment, it does more than a normal shotgun shell can do. I want you to think about that. A normal shotgun shell will half health an enemy. That does more than half health right there. And that's not even like a precision shot. A precision shot will get more than that. You don't have to get one with this. You just have to aim. And then the bright side is if you're close to a cliff like this, and it doesn't kill him, you can just blast him off the edge. For instance. Like that. Although I've seen it done better. Although out of everything, this exotic earns a spot in my heavies list. Like, I'm not gonna get one for each character, but I certainly am gonna use it for when I go out on patrols and I have to clear a bunch of enemies. Maybe even, like, considering that there's better weapons for, like, raid and all that. For this, I might actually use this for Nightfall. Because this... damn it. This weapon does what it's supposed to do. It's a good exotic to use when clearing ads. It just is. And plus, look at the damn thing. It's fucking cool. I mean, seriously. What more can you ask for? Boom! Oh, it is void. Didn't realize that. Anyways, for this exotic, I might put it up on screen, I might not, because editing as of late has been drawn back to when I can actually do it. By the way, I should have said half health's higher leveled enemies, meaning I probably should have said like dregs, not dregs. Probably like vandals, captains, close to that. Probably a good ranking. I might be off a little bit on that. But anyways, the point of this gun is not to do damage, it's to clear. To kill an enemy with it would be amazing, because you get scientific method. But it doesn't really do much. In all honesty, this weapon is just like, it's a better version of a shotgun. I mean, there's no spread on it. Let's put it this way. It shoots out a burst of air, for the most part. And for the most part, it doesn't do anything that requires range. You're meant to get up really close and then light it off, but otherwise, it's not what everybody wants it to be in this game. But in my personal opinion, it deserves a good, I want to say 6, maybe. It probably deserves a good 6, relatively close 7. Alright, so let me... Can I? You know what? Fuck you, Captain. Biatch, come get me. Alright, so let's see. What else do I have? Dubious Volley. So Dubious Volley will be coming up here in a second. Just give me a second. There we go. Shouldn't have reloaded that. But Dubious Volley. Let's take a good long look at what was supposed to be the next successor to Gjallarhorn in a lot of people's eyes. And I do mean a lot of people's, because I even thought it was going to be relatively close to what the Gjallarhorn was going to be. Not true. This gun is more of a shotgun than it is a rocket launcher, and we've had these types of weapons in the past. For instance, Vex Mythoclast was a fusion rifle, but it shot like an auto rifle. This weapon itself does exactly what it should do. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good cocoa. Anyways, this weapon does exactly what it should do. It puts out a ton of damage on a ton of enemies, and without a lot of thought. In the end, you shouldn't even really aim the weapon, but I do it because I feel like it zeroes in the spread, and I did what I shouldn't have done. Shit. I forgot to get out the tractor. Okay. Hold on to your shit, people. Things must be done first. And by the way, thank you for watching such things. Comment sections. I don't have an access to it as of right now, but anyways, scientific method. Scientific tractor cannon. Alright. These are the perks to them. I feel like in the end, I wish exotics could have a little bit more to them, but in the end, it's fine that they don't. It could be a lot worse. I mean, the gun itself does exactly what it was intended to do. It does the damage I think it should do, and in the end, it deserved the good 6, high 7. Anyways, back to the Dubious Volley, because I fucked up. This gun itself, people can call it a rocket launcher, but I honestly want to get used to calling it a shotgun. It's not a rocket launcher. If you think about it, a rocket launcher shoots one projectile, and Gjallarhorn would shoot one projectile that spread into, like, however many projectiles. But the point of this gun is, it's not that. It's a slow-firing shotgun with one round that has explosive rounds. That's really what it is. And in my opinion, it does what it should do, but I feel like if all the rounds would be tracking, it would be what I believe Bungie should have made it to be. Although, as of right now, I have no right to judge on that. because this is year one. I'll probably make more of these exotic videos, but in the end, it's just not a rocket launcher. A rocket launcher, like I said, has... Shit. A rocket launcher has one projectile that spreads into tiny ones, or just lays down cluster bombs. God, I can't speak. Or it just flat out shoots one rocket. This basically shoots out however many small rockets equivalent to shotgun pellets that could just explode. It's all this gun really is. It's ad clearance with a really cool look that you can call a rocket launcher. Now in the end, if it was just a bit better, I'd give it the, like, not perfect, but I'd give it a pretty good rank of 9, but it deserves an 8 in terms of what it can do, the amount of damage it outputs, because in a way it kind of reminds me of the tractor cannon. Although the tractor cannon, in my opinion, is a lot better because in the end, you don't blow yourself up if you accidentally hit one rocket on the ground with the dubious volley, as I'm going to call it. You blow yourself up if you have one rocket hit the ground, which is understandable, but at the same time, for what the gun is, I feel that's very, very harsh, considering that you have to keep all the clusters on target, and it's like trying to shoot a shotgun shell. If you shoot too close to yourself, you will blow yourself up. And half the time when dealing with ad clearance, that's normally what happens. Alright. So, I'm going to give it an 8 or 7. That's the realm that I'm going to go into. 8 or 7 is completely... It's actually probably the best rank I can give it. And it works. It really does. Oh, that's good. Anyways, alright, next gun. So, let's go on to the Merciless, which is my favorite fusion rifle so far. It's an absolutely stunning fusion rifle if it actually comes to existence here. Please. Good. Good, 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 good. So it's one of my favorite fusion rifles because aesthetically it looks awesome. And in the end, hey Dad. Doing something, but anyways. So far this gun is my favorite fusion rifle. Did you get another? No. Oh, okay. So far it's my favorite fusion rifle. I need to get past this sentence. Anyways, so far it does a ton of output for what it is. A fusion rifle normally outputs one shot, but this acts more like a Pocket Infinity and no, Pocket Infinity and a mix of Plain C. Only Plain C in Destiny 1, you pull it, you go from primary to secondary, and it has a chance to automatically fire. Pocket Infinity had an automatic trigger, and if you miss a shot, that shot has a chance to head straight back into the clip from where it came. This has a mix of the full auto and Plain C idea. If I can get some ammo for it, I'll explain it more. So basically what this gun does is that if you can't kill a target with the first shot, it gets faster in firing. And from there, it'll continue to get faster and faster until there's no charge rate. And it basically kind of just turns into a semi-automatic, just a semi-automatic. And from there, it honestly gets a little bit better because with one shot, I think one shot plus... I think upon reloading, you get a damage buff, if I remember. I'll check that out here in a second and just show you all the perks. Yep. That's fine, Dad. Alright, so... there it is. Reloading immediately after a kill increases weapon damage for a short time. So basically, once you kill the, let's say yellow bar. Once you kill the yellow bar, it'll immediately count that as a kill, and you can move on to the next enemy with a damage buff. God damn it, stupid. Slow down. Alright. Anyways. So there you go. There's a short term of it. So this weapon is absolutely pleasing to look at. The skin is amazing for it, although I prefer the skin. What? You don't even know what that means, so shut up.
You're weird.
Dad, until you understand, leave my presence. But anyways, this weapon is the boss killer that I would equivalent not to Galahorn, because it's a weapon of its own type. I'd give it to Plain C archetype, because it's very, very fast, and it hits extremely hard. So the bright side about that is it's a boss killer weapon that if you accidentally pull it out and get a kill, reload, you can immediately go straight back to him and put a fusion rifle shot in his ass and then reload. And then from there you can just keep going. So for instance, there's one. There we go. So this gun, I can't exactly explain it any more than I have, and I want to explain it even more, but that's the problem. It's hard to explain. But out of everything, I give this weapon a 9. It's an absolutely must-have. If you don't have the Raid rocket launcher or the Vanguard one, this is the weapon that you want for better accuracy. And plus, I have heard that if you aim for the head, or aim for the chest and you float up to the head, you do more damage. I'm not sure if that's true, but I think I saw maybe Datto do it in one of his weapon reviews of which one's better for the Raid. But anyways, this weapon deserves a 9. It's a must-have. You have to get it if you intend to Raid and you have no other weapons that are legendary that you can use. But that's the end of that one. Let's go to the Darcy, which is an absolute awful gun to use, other than if you plan to do a movie. And that's not a joke. This gun is absolutely amazing to look at. But let's get a good read on this. Let's see here. There's an enemy that I can just see from far away. Ah, there you are. So putting the reticle on this, you can see health, you can see level, and let's see. Yeah. This gun, that's the weirdest perk I've ever heard, but the auto assist I've heard is absolutely amazing. I just hate sniper rifles. Yes. But in the end, I really can't give this weapon anything other than a real 3 to 4 out of 10. It's not that useful. But god damn, it looks amazing. At least this is the skin that I have for it. This is what it looks like normally. So, these are the perks. Okay. Da, da, da. Shotgun. Alright. Let's see here. Let's do Skyburners. So, you know the slug rifle that the Skyburners had? This is supposed to be that gun. But it feels like it should do more. More damage, I want to say. But the problem comes to, it's a scout rifle. And it's not exactly the fastest firing, but it's a full auto. When you do anything, it's faster firing when you're not aiming, but when you aim, it's a lot slower. This gun can shoot through phalanx shields and does more damage to Cabal. It's not a necessary requirement. I just say it's one of those things that if you want it and you find yourself facing off against Cabal a lot when you're doing public events because it's the one thing that you like doing, I mean, it's the only time I'd use it. But you can use it in a raid, but people are going to yell at you. Unless you have the rocket launcher, but that's truly up to you. Because there are better weapons to use in the raid. There's obviously better weapons to use for Nightfall. And this gun, it's fun to use, but it's not that necessary. It's not. I mean, it hits like a truck just about anything else, but when you go to Cabal, that's when it really shines. But even then, I feel like it should do more damage. Because it feels too... I don't know. I feel like when I'm firing this, I'm firing in a swamp. I've got my face plunged into the mud, trying to fire outside of it. Dead. Yeah.
What are you doing, cat? You being a gato?
Anyways, I give this gun... I may have already said, but it deserves a 3 or a 4. It really doesn't need to be in your arsenal. It's just a cool gun.
What are you doing, cat?
In the end, the skin for it is absolutely amazing, though. Even without the skin, it looks pretty good. But let's go to the Risk Runner, which is by far my favorite gun to use when it comes to Fallen. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to come across a Fallen that just has nothing but time to spray shit at you. Just nothing but arc when it comes to Fallen. The only thing that doesn't count as arc is servitors, and half the time, and very rarely, you'll come across a shrapnel launcher. But this gun deserves all the praise I can give it when it comes to killing things that hold arc. This gun itself is meant to do so. Based on the design, what am I doing? There. So first... Oh, I don't even have the thing equipped. God, I love that camo. Anyways, that's the perk right there. And there's the other one. And altogether, this gun, let's see if I can get it real quick. It draws ammo out of the reserves, which first I didn't realize. But in the end, I feel like I'm firing a non-stop hail of arc shots that chain. So anything next to whatever you're shooting will continuously be shocked. And they'll eventually either die from you shocking them, or die because you had to move on because the enemy you were shooting died. But sometimes I've had a few problems when I want to get shot, It doesn't always work, and right there, proving the fact that it's only arc. But there's been a few times where I wanted to get shot, and for some reason the AI just kind of walked away. But I'm not sure. This gun works incredibly well. Watch this. Here. This gun works incredibly well. That was without reloading once, because he shot me. Now the even better part is, while the ability is activated, you actually have an increased armor, just very little, but it's increased armor still, in which you can take even more shots. So let's say you're on the strike from the beta. I don't remember what it is, but the boss, the final round of the boss from that strike, he shoots nothing but arc at you. So at the end, I just end up firing continuously. And by the way, this gun, if you can control it, it's extremely accurate. But without control, you end up just going all over the place. So you just have to learn how to control it. But anyways, I give this gun, it's not a must-have, but it is one of the guns that I would tell you you should probably have in your inventory if you fight Fallen a lot. So I think it even works in Crucible, now that I think about it. But I'm not sure, because I hate Crucible, so I will not be telling you what's good for Crucible. But in the end, this gun works extremely well for what it does, and I tell you, go out, once you get it, don't get rid of it. But this gun deserves a good 5, a very high 4 for me. It's definitely worth having. So let's get this thing out of the way. Fighting Lion, raise your hand if you know what this thing does. Yes, you in the front row. No, that's not what this thing does. This thing fires one shot that can be reloaded after, I believe, killing one enemy. This thing is a crowd control with flare. It's not even really a crowd control, because this thing's only meant for fun. Here. One shot. Let's see. There. Wow, I'm going to have to look up the perks, because last time I had it, that's what reloaded it. This gun, personally, I'm not going to spend any more time other than it's a 1. It's a 1. If you have it, dismantle it. It's not worth having. I'm just going to move on. Graviton Lance. I would prefer this thing do a little bit more damage or have a faster fire rate, because I really don't know what it is about this gun. It feels too gross to fire. It doesn't fire fast enough, or it doesn't do the damage I'm looking for. But in the end, the gun itself, the biggest problem I have is that the explosive rounds that you get when you kill an enemy, the enemy's body moves. It's not an explosive round. It turns the enemy into a grenade that misses every single time. Because normally, the enemies just stand next to each other. Why would I want the enemy, to fly backwards like that? And it doesn't even do that much damage in the end anyways. But if I got a group of enemies together, and they just exploded because the body stood in one place and exploded, that would be absolutely wonderful. But that's not how this gun works. Bungie, you need to fix this gun. It would be absolutely marvelous to have this gun at its peak. But this gun is held back by the fact that, 1, the enemy gets thrown back. 2, I feel like it does need a little bit of a buff in damage or rate of fire, but in the end, it does decent damage. It's not something I use over and over and over again, because I should know. This is the first exotic gun that I got in Destiny 2. But it's not a must. It's not. And it's definitely not a horrible gun. So I'm going to give it a 5. It's a gun that's fun to use, but it does have its uses. It's not useless. Alright. I think that's all for the secondaries on this one. Alright. Vigilance Wing. This is probably the only one that I'll tell you is absolutely amazing to have in Crucible. If you go from like having the number or Uriel's gift, you run out of ammo and you don't have the time to reload. Switch to this and it takes about 3 bursts if you nail them in the head. If you try to aim for the head, normally you won't nail every shot, because trying to control pulse rifles, like trying to guide a rhino down a river, it doesn't work very well. But in the end, this thing fires extremely fast. It's not full auto. It shoots 5 rounds. But in the end, the only reason it actually shoots really fast is because the rate of fire on it is extremely slow. Because if the rate of fire was any faster, you'd end up skipping a bullet, and it would just be an auto rifle. Or you'd shoot 2 bullets at once. So the only way this gun could probably get worse for rate of fire is if they decided to slow it down. And the only way they could buff it is if they make 1 bullet into 2 and speed up the rate of fire. This gun itself is meant for Crucible. I enjoy it. It's meant for Trials. I don't like Trials. Too cringy. But in the end, it's a gun meant for Crucible. So I'm not going to judge it too harshly on that. But for PvE, it's not a must-have, but it's a fun gun to use. So I'd give it about a 6. A 6. It's probably fair. But in Crucible, I'd give it a straight 8. It's a straight 8. It deserves all the Crucible hype that it holds. I mean, it slaughters ads. And if it slaughters ads extremely well, that's normally not an indicator that it does well in Crucible, but for once, this is the only time it breaks that rule. This gun is a must-have for Crucible. And actually, I didn't show you the perks. Okay. And I'm going to do it backwards, apparently. Gun is an absolute must-use. So this is the last gun I have on my Titan, so it's going to be the last part of this video. Even though I bet nobody's watching anymore. But, anyways, this is, you guessed it, Mida Multi-Tool. The gun that everybody praises because of its Destiny 1 uses. This gun is not very good. In fact, it's really annoying when people try to use it, because people who know me know I hate hand cannons. And if you asked me why, it would be because everybody thinks they're extremely useful right now, when hand cannons are at the bottom of the barrel almost. They're right... Actually, they're really close. Better Devils, and I think one more hand cannon makes the hand cannons stand out above pulse rifles right now. Because the only good pulse rifle that I've found for Crucible is Vigilance Wing. And it's a really solid weapon. But this gun used to be amazing. Why are they... you know what? I'm not going to think about it. His gun used to be amazing, but now it's as dull as as Destiny 1 Year 2 version. It's just, it could be so much better. Let's see here. But in the end, I do like it for one thing. You get to keep your radar. No matter... No, not no matter. You get to keep your radar for this weapon when aiming down sight. But overall, this weapon's only other use is movement speed. It has high caliber rounds, but I don't notice it that often. And in the end, this gun, I use it for long range engagements. It's what it's meant for. But Crucible, I normally don't get those engagements. It's not a very fun weapon to use. And in the end, I'm getting tired of people praising a weapon that they don't quite understand either. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I'll probably start up another one. Just because, I don't know. I might actually make another one of these for my Hunter and Warlock, because I have a ton of weapons from them that I haven't used, or I haven't shown you guys. Anyways, that's the end of this. I know nobody enjoyed it because it's my opinion. Nobody likes an opinion. So, thank you for watching, and real quickly, the only thing I have to say about my opinion is if you diss me about my opinion on these weapons, you might as well go say fuck you to Planet Destiny, Dado, and God, I forget his name. But his outro is like, I'm out of here like Vladimir. I forget his name. I have to go look it up. Anyways, but remember, if you agree with them, you want to know why? It's because they, for the most part, they do really well in Crucible. I don't. But some of that's problems I have, and it has more to do with Crucible. Anyways, thank you for watching this. Fuck you all, and thank you for enjoying my absolute garbage. Haven't said that in a while. Peace.